What up guys, SuperMetal983 here bringing us another album review, and this time we've got another release from the best hardcore band around if you ask me. Yeah, I've been so looking forward to reviewing this one, so we're going to dissect it today. But yeah, I'm going to be reviewing the new EP from the band Street Soldier entitled Original Murda Material. This is a self-released EP and will be released on the 20th of July in 2023. Now, if you're not too familiar with Street Soldier, I'll be very surprised, especially if you're from the UK scene. They are one of the fastest up-and-coming hardcore bands out there, and in my opinion, one of the best. I've been listening to this guys for, God, since I first discovered them. It was at Fall in the Brawl, funny enough. I think it was 2018 when I first saw them, and they'd released an EP that year, but I saw them at that festival, and it was just sheer carnage, utter violence, and just destruction. It was just absolutely incredible, and I absolutely loved their performance. So, but their first release came out, or two releases, should we say. Their first release was in 2018, entitled One Man Gang, which is probably the one that I've listened to the least out of their entire discography, if I'm honest, but it's still absolute perfection, if you ask me. It's probably one of their more beatdown orientated, sort of more hardcore beatdown sort of feels release, along with their release that followed that in 2018, which was called Hard Mentality, which to me anyway is my favourite release of their discography. Like, honestly, I absolutely love that EP. Those two EPs, even though they're only 3 tracks, they are still absolutely incredible material and some of the best and just most fun songs in hardcore that I've listened to in a long fucking time. Like, it gave us the same sensation listening to these guys and vibes of like Hatebreed, for example, like that kind of catchy, memorable hooks and stuff that you can sing along to and just have a good time with your mates. That's the vibe I got straight away. And then in 2019, you may or may not know, I reviewed their third EP, which was called Northern Hate on the channel, which to me anyway is still quite a staple in their discography, and I still listen to that one quite a lot, to be honest. I mean, Boss Man is quite a staple in their set list, should we say, and to me anyway, it's a staple in their discography because it's, in my opinion, one of the catchiest songs, and just one that as soon as it comes on, you know straight away that it is Street Soldier. And that's one thing about Street Soldier, is every time, whether it be from their first release or from One Man Gang or in their later material, it comes on, you know instantly that it's Street Soldier. It's no other band sounds like them, and that, I think, gives them a lot of credit. And then, so Northern Hate came out in 2019, and in 2021, we got another EP entitled Turn Dangerous, which showed the band going in, it's still keeping a little bit of beatdown influence in there, but turning the page on more of a straight up hardcore sort of feel to their overall sound, but it still felt like Street Soldier, and it is an absolutely incredible release. I mean, if you haven't listened to it, make sure you do so. In fact, all the releases that I've just talked about there, check them out, because you will be hooked from the minute you listen to them. And I have been, and I've been sticking with them for many years, become really good friends with these guys, and we played a show with them in York. It was in May. It was a two-nighter, and we were on the second night, and it was just such a good night. So many great people there, so many great riffs, and all the bands put on incredible performances. I just wish I could relive it, to be honest. But anyway, moving on. And now we get to 2023 with another EP entitled Original Murda Material, and we're going to dissect it today. So yeah, it is 7 tracks and runs around 28 minutes in length, and to me anyway, from when I got the promo for this release, I knew instantly that it was going to be a banger without even putting it on, should we just say. I mean, we'd heard Middle Fingers and Die With A Brain already, and those songs and also Nonce Killers as well, and we knew instantly that they were going to be incredible tracks. They were incredible tracks, and whatever they were leading to, whether it was going to be a full-length album or an EP, it was going to be something memorable. And it still had that memorable hook that Street Soldier had, but it had something different going for it. and we're going to dissect it right now. Kicking in with the first track, Rewind. It's straight up, like, you know straight away that these guys have diversed themselves from not just another hardcore beatdown band or even just another hardcore band. They have really pushed their envelope a lot more, in my opinion, especially on this release. Like, from on the track Rewind, you know straight away that they have took a lot more influence from old school new metal, from like the late 90s to the early 2000s, from your Limp Bizkits to your Korn to your Biohazards, you know, even a little bit of Linkin Park in there, old Linkin Park in an essence. They've took all these influence and managed to merge it with the already captivating and just overall, how could I describe it, like just one-of-a-kind machine that is the Street Soldier sound. Like, they know how to write a memorable hook, when not just in the vocal department when it comes to like catchy memorable lines coming here and there. I'm talking about the riffs as well, the drum patterns, the bass lines. Everything in itself is there to make it memorable and have a good time. They're not like a showy off kind of band. They are just performing music for the love and intensity of heavy riffs and hardcore and metal music. And you can feel it when you listen to it, because you can hear all these influences coming from left, right and centre, from like the DJ scratches and like, you know, the little trippy sort of vocal delays and effects on there, and just the overall grooves that are on there, especially leading on to the song Middle Fingers, like the lead up into it, the intro into it, and Die With A Brain, same sort of feel. It's all there to make a really nice, unique transition and make it feel like a bit of a, like it was took out of the early 2000s new metal scene. Like, you can really feel that sort of thing, but it still has the intensity, and overall, the overall production sound is massive. Like, it has pushed the envelope of the Street Soldier sound. Like, Turn Dangerous, I remember when I first heard that, I was like, okay, they've really matured their sound, going for a more higher end production and tones, and going for bright but still having that really big attack going for it that makes the riffs stand out and echo through your system when you're listening to it. Because like there is more to life than just heavy. Like, there's got to be a little bit of consistency and a little bit of a brightness to it to make those riffs sing through and strike a nerve with you in a way. And I feel like Street Soldier on this release have definitely hit that, especially in one thing that definitely surprises across this release was the overall bass tone, because there wasn't like a single bass tone on there. Like, there was a lot of expressiveness. Like, there was elements of clanky bass in there when it needed to be, like filling in like some moments, and then there'll be like a more traditional bass tone that'll come through, and then something like in the middle, and it kind of wavers a little bit, and it really makes for an interesting abstract to the listening experience, if you ask me. And the tone itself, like matching with the guitars, it still has a bit of just the essence of warmth to it, to give it a bit more sustenance, especially, and depth. Because the guitars are so fucking chunky. Like, every note attack coming from that right hand of Ollie sounds absolutely incredible, and it's played with a lot of aggression and a lot of attack going for it, and it really sings through, if you ask me. And I really think it works really well. And I will say as well, like, the second track, Can't Break This, kind of takes on a bit more of a more straight up hardcore, but also a little bit of a punk sort of influence in there. Like, I would say personally, if you're a fan of Turn Dangerous, Can't Break This is kind of like sort of that sort of feel, where it's a bit more traditional hardcore oriented with a bit of punk, and there's still a little bit of new metal influence in there, but it still feels like a traditional Street Soldier song, but going more of their hardcore thing. And I will get to the variation in that, because that's one thing that really flows with the release, is no song sounds alike. Like, Rewind sounds like a bit of a more, oh no, sorry, it's not Can't Break This, it's Time to Lose, but anyway, get me. So, Rewind has this sort of new metal feel. Can't Break This sort of has that same sort of file with a bit of more groove to it. And then Time to Lose has that kind of more punky sort of feel to it. And then you get to my favourite song on this release. And you would think that Nonce Killers would be my favourite, but nah. Hint there. No, Fuck You is easily my favourite song on this release. Like, I cannot stop listening to that song. It's just so catchy. And this is what I'm on about, is Street Soldier from Nonce Killer on Hard Mentality, Bossman on Northern Hate, or Bully Basher on One Man Gang. They know how to write a memorable hook and something that they know how to put a song on there that's going to make people sing along and have a good time. And this one, that song just overall is just so fucking catchy, man. Like, I absolutely love it. But it still comes in at the end with that stonky breakdown. Like, the breakdowns on this release are just chunky and just hit you right in the face, like, to remind you that they are still a hard as fuck band, and they have that sort of beat down mentality behind them, like, no fucks given, like, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face, but I'll give you a hug afterwards, you know, that sort of vibe, you know. It's a good fucking vibe, and I absolutely love it. And then Middle Fingers and Die With A Brain, you know, those songs, for me, at first, I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard them, I was like, a little bit, I kind of felt a little bit underwhelmed. Maybe it was because I was listening to a different genre at the time. I don't know. Because, you know, when you're listening to this, you're in a death metal mood or a black metal mood, whatever. And a hardcore song like that comes on, and it might not hit you in the right spot at the right time, sort of thing. And you're just like, okay, it's Street Soldier. That's that. No offense to me, boys, in any way. But it didn't click with us at first. But then listening to it with this release, and also listening to it just before I got the promo copy, it made a lot more sense. I was like, okay, this is definitely Street Soldier. And then we get to the mammoth itself, Nonce Killers Ultimate Annihilation. Basically a part 2 to Total Annihilation, but on Hard Mentality, which I never thought, honestly, there would be like a part 2 or a follow-up sort of type band, you know, personally. But my God, did this track surprise me. Like the whole EP surprised me for different reasons of the new metal influence, you know. You can basically hear or feel yourself getting the really baggy trousers, you know, the oversized t-shirt and the dreadlocks, whatever. You're getting that, you feel it growing on you when you listen to those tracks. But Nonce Killers, to me anyway, as a standout, right, it kind of reminds you that they are still a beatdown band and they still can write heavy. Like, people, maybe they got some comments of like, oh, Street Soldier are moving away from the beatdown, they're not as heavy as they used to be, and then like, no, literally, no, fuck you, we're going to bring out our heaviest track yet. And Nonce Killers is that. Like, I really, when I first heard it, I thought it was just going to be another version of Nonce Killer, but like just a continuation, just the exact same vibe, exact same feel, but not a fucking slamming, you know, beat down heavy as fuck track like this. Like, wow, like I absolutely was not expecting that, especially the gutturals from Scotty. Where the fuck did I know he's done gutturals and stuff in the past, but I really did not expect that kind of level. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? And to me, anyway, me and the cast of Tephra were just like, yeah, this is fucking insane. This is incredible. And honestly, I honestly prefer Total Annihilation to Ultimate Annihilation, but it's still fucking heavy. And it really is a really good ending to the EP. Like, the continuation of that sort of new metal, hardcore, sort of punk vibes throughout the 1 to 6, Non-Skillers coming in with a heavier sort of ending kind of makes us go, okay, they are still a heavy band, and it really works in the whole progression of the release, in my opinion. And I will say, Drill Sergeant's drum work on this release sounds absolutely fucking incredible. Like, his work as a drummer, he's fantastic as a drummer, and especially his vocals, like his shouty vocals, are just so entertaining. They're not, some people may think they're kind of like over the top and cheesy in a way, but it's meant to be like that. It's meant to be that kind of vibe, you know. But it just works, man, and it just sounds incredible. Like, and it seems like with each release, Scotty and Drill Sergeant, like, their levels are starting to get a lot better. Like, you know, from Scotty's like hardcore sort of rap influence, you know, sort of vocals and brutal vocals, as we know. And then Drill Sergeant coming in, like, there was a couple of parts on like the older releases where the mix where Drill was like way up top in the mix, but it's been brought down and it's sort of level, and it really works in their favour. But still, at the same time, it doesn't seem, to me, it does seem cheesy in the best form of way. But honestly, I absolutely love this release. And Scotty, his vocals on this, his memorable hooks, they're just left, right, centre, wherever. They are just coming at you from all directions. And you, from the minute I heard this release, I was singing "Nah Nah Fuck You." Like, I was listening to that. I listened to it once all the way through, and I was just walking around the house or work, just going "Nah, nah, 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 nah," just singing along to it. And then Middle Fingers singing that as well. Die With a Brain, Rewind. Just all the songs, man. I was listening to them that much, and I've listened to this so much. Honestly, I'm going to say this is my favourite of Street Soldier's discography. I absolutely love the sound, the overall vibe that they're going for, and every release they put out is an absolute masterpiece of just British hardcore with that sort of Yorkshire twist. It's just incredible. I honestly can't fault this release. I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10, though. I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10. And the only reason I say that is just because I kind of preferred Non-Skiller to Non-Skillers, but that's just my personal opinion. And I absolutely love this release. Make sure you check it out. Me boys in Street Soldier have done absolutely incredible work on this release, and I hope that this pushes them more into, like, I know they're doing a UK tour very, very soon, so make sure you go and check out all the dates, or any of the dates that are coming up near you, or even all the dates. Go and see them. See them on every single show. I just wish I could, but I can't afford it. But anyway, so make sure you check out two tracks I would definitely recommend you check out are "Nah Nah Fuck You" and also Middle Fingers. And I'll also put Non-Skillers down there as well, just as a bonus, because it's so fucking heavy. But yeah, make sure you check it out. I'm going to give this, as I said, a 9 out of 10. But yeah, make sure you check out my Risk for Days playlist on Spotify, link down below. Make sure to subscribe. More videos are on the way. I'll see you until next video. And remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.